So the big platforms have announced updates to their terms of service, but no real proactive guidelines. So it's actually very confusing because it seems like as marketers, it's our responsibility to know what we're supposed to do, and the guidelines are very unclear. So how is a company supposed to even start understanding what to do? You want to take it?
I would. We need a mic.
Okay, it's a very complex question. So first, the good news is that GDPR is a kind of opportunity. It's not a risk, it's not a threat, it's an opportunity. It's something that if you're bringing enough value to your customers, to end users, then your end users, you will be willing to pay with their data. They will be willing to give you their data, and then you can process the data, you can do whatever you do when you want, you can profit. So this is the good news. The bad news is if this is the data that you first are hearing about GDPR, you're in a big trouble because the GDPR is like a minefield. That if you're inside, you'll never be able to go from this minefield because you have already collected this data from your end users, and you have to clarify or make it clear the database in order to keep using it. So the first question is whether the database that you are already holding, whether you got the consent, the real consent from your users, which as I said before, it should be explicit consent, something which the user has wanted to give you this data, and then you can use it for your own purposes. So this is the first, to see what databases you're holding and what are the users you can make from it. For example, for Como, what we serve, our platform is for small, medium businesses, and the technology which we bring to our customers like the giants. So like Facebook changed their privacy policies, and like Amazon, Google, or whatever published their new privacy policies. We have our own privacy policy, so if you are connected to our network, then you can use our privacy policy, and then the data that we collect for you and share you, our customer, then it's compliant with the GDPR.
Okay, and Shahal, when did you first realize that you have to deal with this GDPR monster?
It was a year and a half ago when we actually kind of monitored GDPR when it came published in April 16. But we started the official kickoff on September 16. And fortunately, we had a very good buy-in from our management, and I think it was a very brilliant thing to do, first to get a good sponsorship from our management and understand the scope and what we need to do internally. We've created a very vast and elaborate plan to cope and comply with the GDPR. And we did a lot of other stuff to first prepare the organization to do this very unintuitive transition from data-centric organization that consume a lot of data without thinking about what we're going to do with it, to a GDPR-ready organization that think about every next step, every new initiative. When you talk about privacy by design, for example, not just a statement. This is a change of culture that you need to do and you need to understand. And I must say that I've noticed a lot of confusion with the earlier discussion with you guys, thinking about if I store data on Salesforce, but I got a consent, but Salesforce didn't get the consent, then we don't have to get consent again for the user. It's more complicated, and this is something that needs to go step by step. And I suggest that you start with thinking about the risks. All the client-facing data that you store, process, or need in order to run your business. Once you understand what type of client-facing data do you have, you need to think about what are the penalties you're going to face if you're not treating this data right. That's the basic concept of GDPR. If you understand that, and if you demonstrate compliance by documenting, creating workflows, and properly communicate it, and be transparent about it, then you're like 50% through.